Today on Cooking with a Lion, I'll be making my favorite winter salad, which is as beautiful as it is delicious. Plus, a tip on how to tame Radicchio's bitter flavor. And it's all coming up right now. Let's get started. One of the lettuces I really look forward to in the winter months is Radicchio. It's beautiful, it's got this deep purple with these white striations, but Radicchio is known for being perhaps a little bit bitter. Now the good thing is, the bitter quality of Radicchio can be reduced because it's water soluble. So reduced how? Well, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna slice this and quarter it, and then slice it across the grains into maybe 1/4-inch slices. And then what I'll do is I'll put it in this bowl, fill it and cover it with cold water, and then we'll just let that soak while we're making the rest of the salad. And what that does is it extracts all the bitter qualities, or some of the bitter qualities, from the Radicchio. Now, why not all the bitter qualities? Well, you actually want a little bit of that bite in this salad because we also have some sweet things. You want to sort of play off on that. You want it to be sweet and then tame, but bitter, a little bit peppery. We also have some almonds, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But the first thing I want to do, of course, is to prepare this Radicchio. So when we make this salad, you'll get some bitter qualities, but not be blown away by its bitterness. But I'll tell you one thing, I am blown away by actually how beautiful it is. So there we go. Cover this with water. We'll let it soak while we prepare the rest of the ingredients for the salad. While the bitterness of the Radicchio is being tamed in that cold water bath, we're also going to tame the quality, the sort of bite that's in the shallot. Now, shallots can be a little more biting than others, but I like to be precautious about my shallots. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice this shallot into very tiny pieces. You can go ahead and mince it or roughly chop it. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it with a few tablespoons of sherry vinegar. Now, if I were doing a different recipe and I weren't using sherry vinegar, I could use lemon juice or red wine vinegar or white wine vinegar or balsamic vinegar. But the qualities of the shallot being tamed work with any sort of acid. Just so happens we're using sherry vinegar today. So I'll give this a quick slice, chop it on up, give it a scoop into the bowl, then cover it with the sherry vinegar. And again, what that does is it tames the heat with the bite that's in that shallot, and it also sort of rounds out the flavor of the shallot as well, okay? Little salt, vinaigrette, little salt. Let's start with a 1/4 teaspoon, and freshly ground black pepper. There we are. Now let's move on to another winter lesson I love so much, which is Frisee. I mean, it's just so cool. It's like those things you put on the end of the pencil and you spin it really quickly and the hair gets kind of funky. Preparation, really easy. What I like to do is sort of pull it back like that, and I'll just slice off the very bottom, say, inch. Right? And then what I can do from there is slice it about every inch. Come through, come through, come through. That's it. So you have these beautiful, sort of crispy, crunchy bases, and as you get further up the Frisee, you get a little more green with a little more herbaceousness, if you will. And I'll put that in as well. Now, you'll notice that I haven't put any olive oil in this yet. It's because the acid isn't going to break down the tissue of the greens. Olive oil does that. So that's why whenever you see a recipe, it says dress the salad last. It's always because of the olive oil and not because of the vinegar. It's winter time. These little gems are amongst my most favorite to use. This is a pomegranate. And I'm going to show you my favorite way and how to prepare it for a salad, because I only need about a 1/2 cup. Now, I wouldn't attempt this if I didn't know what I was doing, because I really like this shirt, okay? So what I'm gonna do is take a paring knife, my thumb about 1 inch away from the end, and just go in at an angle, not straight down, but just at an angle, right underneath this little nub, okay? And then turn the pomegranate. You don't have to go around the pomegranate, you turn the pomegranate, and this little guy pops right off, okay? Now, when you look at a pomegranate, from the top, you can see it has these ridges, these high pointed, these ridges. And it's these ridges where you'll find the membranes that we're gonna pop it open, we're gonna split it. But I don't wanna cut all the way through, I just wanna score from top to bottom, right along these ridges. This is gonna make opening it much, much easier, much, much cleaner. And if you've got kids, much more fun to just have them go to the front porch like my brothers and I used to do. We made a mess, that's why we had to go outside. Hopefully, I cut deep enough at the top. Ah, there you go. That's all you need, just one little opening to make this whole thing possible. And he's just gorgeous. I mean, and that is ruby, ruby red, look at that. And they just fall out. You don't get a bunch of juice all over yourself, your shirt stays nice and clean. Now all I have to do is pick about a half a cup for this salad. And when I'm done with that, all I have to do is drain the radicchio and then compose the salad. Really easy, right? The radicchio has been soaked, drained, and spun dry. The frisee has been sitting on top of the shallot that we diced up pretty fine. We added salt and pepper and sherry vinegar. So now we will add, that looks about even, the radicchio. Now is the time we add the olive oil. These are hardy greens, they're not delicate little greens. So you can be a little bit rough and tumble with them. Give it a good amount so that they're all evenly coated. And I'll have one hand mix these ingredients together. The other hand will stay dry. Well, why is that? Well, because if you're familiar with a lot of my salads, I mix it all in a bowl. But the thing about this salad is that I'm composing the salad on the plate. And I will show you why. Looks good. Get yourself a nice large plate, a big handful of salad, right in the middle. Don't futz with it too much, just right on top. That looks great. I'm gonna top it with a few different ingredients. If I were to add these ingredients to the salad, mix it all together, it doesn't really work. Let me show you why. These Marcona almonds, crunchy, buttery, they don't have the skin, so they're not bitter at all. They're just really lovely, lightly salted. When you get one of these, it's just heaven on earth. We also have, of course, the pomegranate seeds that we opened up without a big mess. The shirt still looks good, don't you think? That goes over top. Look at just, I mean, this is my favorite winter salad. It is so beautiful. And speaking of winter, we have different types of dates that I got from a website. If you've never tried a really fresh date, go to 7hotdates.com and grab yourself some fresh dates. These are called wet dates because they're so fresh. And all I've done is I've torn them in half and taken out the pit. And this is the culprit. This and goat cheese. These two are thick as thieves, and they're the ones that kind of smoosh everything together if I try to compose the salad in one bowl. I have this goat cheese, which I like to add last because it just visually pops against all these other ingredients. And it's also nice, you know, some people may want more goat cheese, they may want more almonds. This is really lovely for you to be able to share with your guests as you compose the salad. And that's the salad. There are not a lot of ingredients and it's super easy to compose. You know, this is the time when you get to enjoy all of the hard work and take a nice bite. Hopefully getting a lot of different ingredients. It's gonna be beautiful. Have you ever been on a wave pool as a kid or as an adult? That's the first thought I get with this salad. It's like you take a bite and you get this, whoa, some sweetness. It's like a brown butter cake with that fresh date. But then you have this contrast of bitterness with those greens. You get a little crunch and butteriness going on with these almonds. And then a little bit of funk. You know how goat cheese has a little funk, but it also has the creaminess. That's like luxurious. This salad is elegant. It's beautiful. Just look at it. It's so easy to make. Pomegranate was the hardest thing, and it's not that difficult. It has this wonderful sweet tart pop of flavor. When I look at this salad, it just reminds me of winter. It reminds me of the holiday season. It is my favorite salad to serve to my guests on the holiday table. But you know what? You don't have to wait for a special occasion like the holidays to serve a salad that's beautiful, because when you make this salad, any day can be special. Cheers.